Hello, I'm Katie Michael Battaglia. I'm with Nemo Tile and Stone, and I'm the design director. What I do there is mostly everything involved with design, mostly interiors. I am an interior designer, been practicing for many years, too many we won't count. But I have been with Nemo for about 5.5 years, but before that, I practiced interior design for mostly the commercial sector. And at Nemo, I design all the showrooms and showroom displays. I'm also part of the team that picks out product and designs our marketing. And so anything basically that Nemo has touched, touching design, I probably have something to do with it. Very involved with the industry as well. I'm here in New York City, and I've been a past president of the local New York chapter for IIDA, and love being an interior designer. But I am here to do a milkshake, and that requires answering some questions. So I have this bowl. Yay! I had to find my own bowl. This is an old bowl from Jonathan Adler, actually. So I'm going to pick some questions here. Okay. What is this? Question 1. For those that don't know, what are some interesting facts about your brand? Well, start off that with the fact that Nemo Tile has been around for 100 years now. This year. Started in 1921. So 2021 is 100 years. And so, we are looking at doing some, blasts on that and some celebrations. And, how do we bring it back to the client, because, we're only 100 because the people keep coming to Nemo. But yes, we're hoping that we can get together as people and friends and customers and everybody get together later in the year, hopefully late summer, and have a celebration. But look for, 100 years Nemo has been around. Started in Jamaica, Queens, and in the time around Prohibition and everything. So it's very interesting. I have all these old photographs and seeing, some of the tiles that were back then are still very popular today. And we're going to be doing something about that. So that's a very interesting thing about our brand, I think. 100, and we look good. I mean, I have a couple wrinkles, but, Anyway, number 2. All right. What is your most popular product, and why do you think that is? Well, everybody has subway tile, right? People come in for wall tile, subway tile, 4-inch tile. I would say those are the most popular, but people were doing the renovations of their house and trying to keep it up, for market value and just be safe. So, the subway tile was very safe, but now there are more versions of the subway tile, more colors, more textures, a little bit more designed, and those are still very popular. And I think people are taking to those because they are trying to be a little bit more unique in their own right. Another one of our most popular is definitely porcelains that look like marble. We have some really, really good porcelains, and porcelains have high definition printing, and the product looks like, they've made the printing process look like a Calcutta, like a Carrera, Nero Marquina. So, and without all the maintenance of the stone. So those are very, very popular. And then concrete looks, definitely. Concrete has been popular in the look in porcelain for many years and continues to be very, very popular. All right, let's see. Another question. What do you think the most important thing a designer needs to know when specifying a product? Well, since I am a designer and I know that not everybody knows a lot of, the technicalities of specifying tile and stone, there are a couple things I would say. Definitely make sure you're using, whatever you're specifying is for the appropriate use. There are codes for a reason for having dynamic coefficient of friction, more for commercial use, of course. But you make sure that what you have is suitable for a floor rather than just a wall, because there are a lot of tiles out there that are really just suited for wall. That's because of the make of it. It's usually ceramics are more fragile than a porcelain would be. The glazes, they're more polished or smooth, and so they could be slippery. But the durability is typically the thing I would look for. Two, I would say make sure that you're transitioning. You know what you're doing when you're transitioning to another material. That's so important because a lot of times people put a tile down on the floor, but they don't think about what happens at the doorway or what happens up against a wood floor, or really look into the transitions. There's schluters out there. There's tiles that have a bull nose to it so that it ends, and you don't have to put something on the edge of it. It actually has its own ending. So definitely look at the transitions. They're very big at stone. And this is also now very important in porcelains, but look at the range. The range of a product line. You might have a tile like this, but it's going to look a lot different when you have a full tile, or you have 5 or 6 tiles together. So some porcelains will say that they have variations of a 1, 2, or 3, or 4 even. And when you get into the higher number of the variation, there is going to be a higher amount of variation. So it's important that you see that. Stones, again, you might see a little piece, but there's a lot more going on. There might be more yellow in a Calcutta than you had seen in the sample you had. So it's very important to make sure you're seeing whether it's like the range, a good box of tile, or you're looking at the slab and you can see how the coloration is in that. But a lot of people just go off of one piece, and it's important to see the whole range. Okay. All right. Let's see, that was 3 questions. I get 5. So, how does sustainability come into play with your products and or manufacturing process? Number 1, ceramic, porcelains, and stone and glass are all natural. They're made from not man-made, but materials from the earth, not man-made. So, porcelains are all made from clays and minerals, as well as ceramics, stone directly from the earth, obviously. So what's nice about that is that there's no off-gassing, like a vinyl tile, for example. There's always going to be some sort of off-gas, smell in that. The porcelains don't have that. Stone doesn't have that. Typically, the installation methods, the materials used for a thin set, a mud set, whatnot, don't have those off-gassing issues either. So that number 1 is a good sustainability item. And number 2, a lot of the factories who are making porcelain are using their waste. So when they're making it and they're pressing it, and there's like, it's almost like a cookie cutter, and you have the leftover parts of the dough. Well, they're putting that leftover part back into the product. So there really is very little waste at all. And then there are some factories too that actually use product that's been, put out to dump, like toilets and sinks that are made from porcelain, so they can grind that up and utilize that porcelain back into, tiles. So that's a great sustainable story. The longevity of the products, they're very durable. They will last a long time. Last as long as you get sick of it, almost, basically. So the life cycle story is very good as well. So it's a good, sustainable thing. All right. And let's see, that's 4. Last question. Then, what's the coolest, most interesting, or weirdest thing or trend that's happened in the kitchen and bath space recently? I think coolest, I don't know if there's really weird, but I wish there was weird. The coolest would be that color has come back. And, I being in New York, we do go outside of New York, but mostly in New York and in other cities, grays and whites. And that's been popular for many years. Still is very popular, don't get me wrong. But we've seen more and more people wanting to use color and, be original and make it more personalized. More blues, more grays. I mean, not grays, greens, yellow. I love the use of the yellow. My dream is to do my own yellow shower. So I think that having color has been one of the, in tile, and bringing in people actually using it has been a really coolest trend for, a designer, because you just love to see colors. You can see it, like, oh, this is, then, back on color, but I guess this is a little weird. It's always, trends come back. Well, how many people have been, trying to take that, dusty rose pink tile out of their bathroom for years, now they want it back. So it'll be really interesting as we see people wanting to take that out and then again in another 10 years. But, I love the fact that people are back and embracing color. So, that's my 5 questions, and I hope you enjoyed listening. I hope you go to nemotile.com and check out our website. We have a visualizer on there so you can play, and thank you. Bye.